The new Wiim Ultra is being talked about by everybody, myself included. Magazines, YouTubers, forums, everyone is excited about the new Wiim Ultra streamer, and it's coming out soon. I think deliveries are going to start happening sometime at the end of this month, sometime mid-August. The Wiim Ultra is interesting in a variety of ways. One, it's a really well-built, fully functioning streamer. 2, it has an HDMI input. 3, it has a screen. And 4, it has room correction. Yesterday I did a live stream and I noticed something the last time I opened up my Wiim software. This is a Wiim Pro. You can get these for about $150 on Amazon or from Crutchfield. And I noticed the last time I was in the Wiim settings that there was something called room correction with a toggle. And I thought, there's no way it's going to work on the Wiim Pro. This is just something that's being rolled out for the Wiim Ultra. Nope. It works. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about the room correction software that you may already have and didn't know it. You can purchase the Wiim Mini, the Wiim Pro, the Wiim Pro Plus from places like Amazon or from Crutchfield. You can also pre-order the Wiim Ultra from Crutchfield. And speaking of Crutchfield, they're sponsoring today's video. Huge thank you to today's sponsor, Crutchfield. They have always been my go-to retailer, even back when I got the catalog in the mail. So you can go to crutchfield.com and check out all of the awesome sales going on right now. Amazon Prime Day? No, it's Crutchfield Day. Huge deals going on right now, including $400 off of select Klipsch speakers, $570 off of some select home theater receivers, and save up to $2,000 on some KEF speakers. They probably have the best customer service in the industry. You're either gonna chat or you're gonna talk to someone that actually knows about the products that you're thinking about buying. They don't sell washers and dryers. They sell stereo stuff. They sell home theater stuff. They have a 60-day price match guarantee, which means if you go and you buy something and then it goes on sale later, that makes me mad, but it doesn't matter. Just reach out to them. They'll credit you back the difference. They also have ridiculously fast shipping. Most importantly, they carry all of my favorite brands, like ELAC, like Cambridge Audio, Polk, Sonus Faber, Macintosh. They've been in business for 50 years. They've got a great return policy. They've got knowledgeable staff. They've got the best customer service. You can actually talk to people on the phone. I've been giving Crutchfield my money for over 30 years, and it's worked out pretty well so far. Thank you, Crutchfield, for sponsoring today's video. If you're new and you're learning about room correction for the first time, room correction is DSP, or digital signal processing, that tries to mitigate or at least address some of the issues with your room as far as room acoustics. If you have a speaker close to a wall, chances are you're going to get room gain when it comes to the bass. So you're going to have more bass than maybe you should. If your room has highly reflective surfaces, like very smooth walls right next to your speaker, you will be getting basically timing issues, because that speaker, especially with high frequencies, is going to hit the wall. Some of the sound will hit the wall and it'll reflect back on your ear, could be hitting other things. And when similar frequencies hit your ear at the same time, it can cause a little bit of smearing. Basically, instruments won't be as clean. In a perfect scenario, a speaker would be just sitting out in an open field, and you would be sitting out in an open field. So there would be no reflections, there would be no room gain from the bass standpoint. Be just perfect. Unfortunately, none of us live in a situation like this. Most of us don't have, probably 99% of us don't have a perfect room, or a room that even has room treatment. Now, room correction isn't going to miraculously solve all of your room acoustic issues, but it at least helps. And the point that I'm trying to make with this video is most products that contain any type of room correction, generally speaking, are fairly expensive or overly complicated to use. There's a Buchart integrated amplifier that comes with, I think, a very similar style of room correction. That thing comes in, I think, over $2,000. It's sold in euros. Actually, it comes in at 2,500 euros. How many dollars is 2,500 euros? That's $2,725.69 right now. I think there are some NAD amplifiers that run some type of room correction. Could be DAC. The only affordable products out there that run a little bit of room correction are generally home theater receivers. The problem with home theater receivers are they don't always have enough gumption. I don't think home theater receivers sound all that great for 2-channel music or even multi-channel music. And the ones that I like are around $800, maybe all the way up to $1,200. So the Marantzes, the Pioneers of the world. So we have to consider that this feature is free if you already have a Wiim Pro or a Wiim Pro Plus, and will be included in the Wiim Ultra streamer. How good is it? We're going to find out right now. I just confirmed by updating my Wiim Mini that the room correction is not available on the Wiim Mini. However, it is available on the Wiim Pro. Wow, wow, wow. First of all, it's super easy to do. You just open up the app, you go into settings, you hit room correction, you get to where you normally sit, and then you run it, and it only sends out one sine wave. Whoop! Now, not nearly as complex as some home theater receivers as far as the setup, especially on DACs. Sometimes you have to get minimum of 3 locations. Oftentimes you have to do up to 6 locations. But to be fair, this thing isn't doing nearly as much heavy lifting as DAC is doing with 13 different channels. This is only dealing with 2 channels. There are 3 different room correction curves, I guess you could choose from. One's called B&K, one's called Harman. You're probably all familiar with Harman. And then one is flat. I was listening or testing the Emotiva XB2s, which is a bookshelf speaker. I think they're awesome. One of my favorite speakers. They come in around $500. Now, I do have this connected to some pretty heavy-duty electronics. The Josheli Labs Daisy is running DAC duties, and that's going into the Unico Primo integrated amplifier, which is a $2,000 amplifier. So we have a $2,000 amplifier, a $1,200 DAC, so that's $3,200 worth of electronics going into the $500 Emotivas, so we're at $3,700 plus $150 for the Wiim Pro, so we're at $3,850. The good news is you don't need a $2,000 integrated amplifier. You don't need a $1,200 DAC to make this work. Biggest takeaway for me is how much it controlled the bass. In my office here, I am very close to the back wall and also very close to the side walls, which means I'm getting a lot of room gain on the bottom. When I went into the app, you can also adjust just how far or what frequencies you want the room correction to affect. It opened up at 40 hertz and went all the way up to 4,000 hertz, and there's a slider. You just slide it either way if you don't want it to affect the higher frequencies. There's also a Q. There's also a max gain. You can really dial in just how much room correction you want to apply. 3 different types of room correction. You can control the frequencies and you can control the intensity or the gain. And Q, to the best of my knowledge, is how much is an adjustment affecting the frequencies around the frequency that's being adjusted. Okay, does that make sense? If you know more, plop it in the comments. I think this is just amazing. I think this is groundbreaking. I mean, what other companies are doing this? Occasionally with cameras, you will see a firmware update that unlocks a lot of new features, like big features. I have never, in the 4 years of doing this professionally, almost 4 years of doing this professionally, and the 40 years of being an audiophile, I have never seen a company do a firmware update that unlocks this much power on a device that is $150, $2,700 integrateds, NAD integrateds that cost multiple thousands of dollars. This is bananas. And I think it cannot be overstated how important, how exciting this is, because I know a lot of you watching already have Wiim Pros. You just got free room correction. I'm blown away. I thought this was going to be a feature that was only available on the Wiim Ultra, and even at $330, that's an absolute bargain. But to get it for free, well done, Wiim. Wow, I hope other companies are out there paying attention to this, because this is the type of service, this is the type of upgrade ability that we should be expecting from everybody. And we are not getting that from everybody. Wiim just continues to raise the bar when it comes to affordability, the number of updates they put out, and then to be able to unlock a feature like this for free is mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. In my room, it toned down the bass quite a bit. It also, I think, firmed up some of the mid-range. I preferred the Harman curve. The B and K was a little bit bassier than the Harman curve, and the flat, it kind of sounded similar to the Harman curve to me. This will only work with an iPhone, from my understanding. So if you have an Android, I'm sorry. I guess it's a reason to get an iPhone. I know if you have an Android, you probably don't want to hear that. But it is what it is. Bootcart's the same way. I think it only works on an iPhone. Is this going to be completely accurate, better than a Wiim Pro microphone? I don't know. But it's better than nothing, and it's pretty awesome if you have an iPhone and you already have a Wiim Pro, because it's free. Amazing. If you got a Wiim Pro, I would try this out today.